casual conversations, and you would be amazed at how much comes out of having a conversation with fellow brothers and sisters that could help everyone. And not just fellow brothers and sisters, but anybody that we run into on the street. Because people have questions and they want answers. You know, he wouldn't have called if he didn't want some sort of answer.
Right.
And what's important is the answer that we give them that always points them back to the Word of God, which always points them to surrender, like what you said, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's ultimately what it is.
The driver went to move when the officer asked him to step out of the vehicle. He went to move his hand, and the officer was like, "What are you doing? Like, I need you to step out of the vehicle." So he's got his hand on the driver's hand, like, "Hey, I need you to stop moving, and I need you to step out of the vehicle. Like, I'm asking you to step out of the vehicle for a reason." Then the guy moves his other hand to roll the window up. So he's rolling the window up on the officer's arm, and the officer's like, "You need to stop, like stop." And so he said, "I need you to get out of the vehicle." So the officer was able to open the door, and the guy starts pushing him back. And so the officer's like, "Wow, wow, wow," and pulls him out of the car. And you had, I'm sitting here looking at comments and people saying like, "The officer needs to be fired. The officer needs to be fired. The officer needs to be fired." And I'm like, I guess you guys have never had your arm rolled up in the window before. Yeah. Because to me, I would consider that a threat to an officer of the law. Like, what do you have to hide to react like this? Why not just comply? Even if he profiled you the last time, just get out of the car. It's like you got another officer that's there with them, and you got witnesses in the car. Just get out of the car. I mean, they ain't gonna shoot everybody on the spot. Right. But you just exacerbated this whole situation because of what? But it's just amazing how people automatically jump on the other side. But when you hear those kind of conversations, it makes you understand. Because I think what people fail to do is to be the officer. Right. Yeah. Like they don't want to put themselves in the officer's shoes because they have these, like what you said, they have these preconceived notions already in their heads that's affecting their thinking process.
Yeah. No, I've been profiled several times.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I've been profiled. I remember one time I was profiled. I had a car load. We ride 4 deep, you know. So we ride, we turn this corner, and we're in an area. And it's kind of like a white area.
Yeah.
And this in Wisconsin, and we're in like a white area. Huh?
I was saying all areas.
Except for Milwaukee. But anyway. So we're riding.
That's why you had those two. Carry on.
Yeah. So you can't use a gun, but you can use a tool. Anyway, and so I am so I'm riding, and all of a sudden, whip, you know, and I said, oh, I said, I know they got me. You know, I said, oh shoot, that's all man. So I pull over and stuff, and sir, would you step out of the car, please? You know, over the speaker. So I step out. You know, I stepped out. I can't remember how I did it. I stepped out, and then he came up to me and stuff. He said, you know why we pulled you over? I said, no, sir. He said, we pulled you over because there was a store robbery, and you fit the description. I'm driving a 1970 Ford LTD.
Oh, I remember those.
High yellow. Ain't nobody in town got one. Okay, now this is in the 80s, man.
I remember those, man.
Okay, ain't nobody got one.
That's a lot of car, man.
That's a lot of car, right? So I'm like, okay. He says, well, and he said something else, whatever, and I was like, no, sir. I said, we were just coming from a friend's house, blah, blah, blah. You know, he says, okay. He said, all right. He said, you just gotta fit the description. You're okay, but there's another cop on the sidewalk, you know? And I was just, no, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
One time I got pulled over in Indiana, and it's fields on both sides of the freeway.
Right.
Ain't nobody there. Nobody but me and the officer.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I come up over this hill, and this officer has a car pulled over already. And I come up over this hill now, and then when I come up over this hill, he's got a car pulled over. And I look at my speed and I said, oh, I'm cool. I got a station wagon at this time, right? And it's an older station wagon, but the windows
like the big cars, though.
Man, I'm a big car driving fool. Anyway, So I come up over these hills and I said, well, lucky I'm doing the speed limit. I said, cool. It was a Mercury single. Station wagon.
With tinted windows.
Okay, with tinted windows.
That don't look suspicious, right?
Okay. Okay. You feel me? So I come over and I'm looking, and all of a sudden he's talking to me, like leaning in the car and stuff, and I'm like, I can see him, and I'm just driving up on him, and it's a waves. So it's like one of them big hills. It ain't
right.
It's like a big hill.
Right.
And all of a sudden he's talking to him, and he's just talking to him like this, and then he looks, and I can see him look at me like this, and then he goes, have a nice day, and he went like this, and then he just looked at me as I drove by. I said, that didn't look too good.
That didn't look too good at all.
So I said, I got my cruise control set and stuff, and I'm just riding, right? And so I just keep looking through a mirror, and I see the car pull off, I see the cop pull off, and then the officer comes up, and he's behind me for a little bit, then he kind of goes, I said, oh, okay, he's going to go around me. So he goes like this, and then he follows me just a little bit, just on my corner.
Yeah.
I was like, what's up with that? I'm like, I'm going speed limit, ain't nothing wrong. Then I said, hit the brake, and whoop, right behind me, goes on his legs. I was like, okay, I said, you know what, what's he pulling me over for? So I pull over, and I'm like, dang, I'm out here by myself. I live in Kentucky, and I'm like, it's just fields.
Right.
Everywhere, right? And it's like 2 lanes of freeway, this way to a highway, 2 lanes across the divider. Ain't holding nobody out there. It's just he and I.
Right.
And so he comes up, he walks up on the passenger side. He said, yeah. He said, I need your license and your registration. I said, oh shoot. He said, you know why I pulled you over? And I said, no sir. He said, I pulled you over. He said, because you were speeding. I said, no sir, I wasn't. And I caught my attitude, but it was too late. It came out. He said, say what? Like that. And I said, no, sir. I said, sir, when I came over the hill, you had someone pulled over. I said, I saw you there. I said, if I was speeding, which I wasn't, sir, but if I was speeding, I had time to slow down. He said, you speeding. He said, hold on for a second. I said, oh, shit. Just calm down. I said, now I'm in the church there. Heavenly Father, please help me. I was on staff at the church in Louisville. You know what I mean? So I was coming back to see my dad at the nursing home.
Right.
He was in Evansville, Indiana, so I was heading back to Louisville. So he comes back. He says, where you coming from? I said, sir, I just spent time with my dad. My dad is in the nursing home in Kentucky. And I said, and I'm on my way back home. He was in Kentucky, but you had to go to Indiana. So I was in Kentucky. I was in this part of Kentucky. He was in this part of Kentucky.
Right,
He had to go through Indiana.
Yeah, right.
And he goes, And I said, sir, I'm a minister at, at the Louisville church and stuff. He goes, He was looking at my car and stuff, and while I'm talking, I can see him looking at my car and stuff. He got my license, and ain't nothing on me. He says, okay. He says, well, I pulled you over originally. He says, because you're 10.
Yep.
And I said,
something.
yeah, And he says, I think your tent is too dark. And I said, no, sir. I said, sir, when I had him install this tent, I wanted to make sure that it was 20%, whatever the regulations were. And I said, in the back, and then in the front was going to be so it followed within regulation. He said, you ever had it checked? I said, no, sir. He said, I'll be right back. So he goes back to his car.
To get the tent reading.
To get the tent reading. So we're still sitting out there all this time, and I'm like, this dude wants to take me in.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So he walks up to the car again, and he said, roll the window up a little bit. So, the passenger said, he said, well, it's dirty. Like that. I said, I say that. Then he wipes the window, and he puts his little gauge on there, and it reads like a little, like 0.2 off or something, lower than whatever or something. But it was, it wasn't enough to get me.
Right.
He said, I checked it. He goes, okay. And then you can see, he said, oh, what about that front strip? It was like he caught it, like he was getting ready to say, have a nice day or something.
Right.
And I had a front strip tent going across, and it was longer than 4 inches, so it's deep,
Oh,
wide and 4 inches
yeah.
going across the front of the windshield.
Right.
Because you got some big windshields back in those days.
Yeah.
Right.
And he says, he says, this tent right here. He says, this is deeper than, it's wider than 4 inches.
Yeah.
He says, so he says, Mr. Carter, have that removed the next time you come through here. He said, I'm gonna write you up with a citation, saying that so when the next officer,
He wanted to give away a ticket.
yeah, so when the next officer comes up, they'll know that you've already been pre-warned.
Right.
So here's your warning citation. Have a nice day. So, but you know, I didn't want. Now, imagine if I would have had an attitude out there.
Right. Yeah, that would not have ended well.
We wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Nope.
He would have been home with his family, but I wouldn't have been sitting here.
Right. It could have been very different.
Different.
Yeah.
Very different. I'm out there by myself. No witnesses.
Right.
Okay, cell phones, I don't think they had cameras back then.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one even more recent than that. For me, I told you guys 3 years ago
Oh, and you fell asleep at the light?
at the red light in the
Oh,
turn
they could
lane.
have got you.
And the only reason why I woke up is because the police officer. I had 2 of them behind me
Yep, they could have
because
got
they
you.
had knocked on the window.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gone, dude. And I mean, it was only by the grace of God that my foot didn't come off the brake.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the truck was on, and I mean, I was just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And that interaction, I mean, it could have went badly. But he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I am now because I'm wide awake." And he was like, "Hey, you need to pull over, you know, because, you know, if you're that tired, you should probably pull over." I said, "No, you started me pretty, like I'm wide awake right now, and I'm on my way home. So I get home." He said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well then, have a nice day." And that was that on that. And so, and he was a white officer with another white officer. I mean, 2 of them right behind. Like, it's crazy that I didn't hear anybody blow a horn.
Right.
I just woke up to someone tapping on the window, and I look behind me, and they are actually parked behind me.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. But it's like when you live through a situation like that, I can't jump on the bandwagon of all altercations are bad because they're just not.
Who says that?
Not all, but that like the persona that black men are being targeted per se by the police. It's like I can't get with that completely because if that was the case, then I would have been in jail. Like I wasn't intoxicated, just tired. So it's like I look at that argument as I could see how a person's personal experience from dealing with the police because I've been profiled and I did the same thing you did. Yes sir, no sir, and I've gotten tickets. And I'm like, I know I wasn't speeding. And I know that I know for a fact when I left the house that light was on, even though it was on. But it just blew out.
Yeah.
And it's like you can get an attitude about that, but the truth of the matter is most of these guys out here doing their job. But when you got a volatile person as a driver dealing with a volatile cop, those altercations happen too.
Yeah. And I don't think it's so much. Well, I don't think it's so much that black men aren't being targeted because we are being targeted. But it's the fact of people are trying to say now that all cops are bad cops.
All cops are targeting black
Right,
men.
and all cops are targeting black men. And that's the way the world does things. They want everybody.
See all or nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't. It's never that way.
It never has
Never
been.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
No.
I got pulled over not too long ago. Right out here, right at 164, right past where it goes 50, where it kicks down to 50.
Yeah.
I got pulled over by an officer, and because I didn't know like they had signs posted up, but I've been driving it every day, so I don't even look at signs because I would drive it every day. Well, they had warnings like the speed limit is changing,
Yeah.
and I didn't see it. And so I'm doing 63. I'm doing 60. I was going to a meeting, and I'm doing 63, and the speed limit is 50. That cop pulls me over, I'll pull over and stuff, and he said, "Mr. Carter." And when he walked up to the car, "Mr. Carter."
They knew who you was?
Yeah. When I walked up to the car, I said, I was like blown away. I said, "You know who I am?" I said, "Already?" He said, "Mr. Carter." And he said, "Yeah, can I see, license registration and stuff?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I pulled you over." I said, "No." He said, you were doing a 63 in a 50. I said, 50? When did it turn down to 50? Mind you, I thought it was 55. I'm still doing 63.
But you was in that 10 mile per hour.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, I'm like, oh man. And so he was like, yeah. He goes, it turned down to 50. He said, you didn't see all those flags and all of that? I said, no, sir, I didn't. He said, look right back there. So right on the other side of the street, it turns to 55. He said, see that sign right there? He said, now it's turning to 55. And I could see it. I was like, because it's right by the street.
Right.
I said, man, I didn't even see that, man. I was like, okay. So he goes back to his cop car, going back there, back up. He said, Mr. Carter. He said, when was the last time you got a ticket for a violation? He said, never! Like that. You know. And he said, so I tell you what. He said, why don't we keep it that way? He said, have a nice day. Man, I want to go by him.
He's not like he's a comedian, man.
Yeah, never. Like, yeah.
It's like, so it, like, I totally agree with that. It's like, cause you have those cops.
Yep.
And then you have, it's kind of funny, like, it's like the saying, you know, you do 10 things right, you do one thing wrong, and people tend to remember the one thing you do wrong.
Right.
You got 500 and, you know, so many thousands of cops. And if one cop does something wrong, it's like they all do something wrong.
Yeah.
In this case, you know, especially over the last couple of years, we're talking about, 10 to 20, but still compared to 500,000.
Right.
That's less than one.
Yeah, I've had good experiences. Literally.
Yeah.
Remember that time when I was leaving the church and that one brother was attacking his girlfriend in the apartment,
Yes.
and his was her apartment,
I
and I
remember,
went
yeah.
over and we came over to the apartment to talk to her and
Yeah.
calm him down. And he went charging back there. My wife was back there, so I put him down.
He
So-
did, man. I was like,
So I put the guy down, and the police officers came. They could have took me to jail. And he says, did you lay hands on him? And I said, I was preventing him from getting back in. The police officer said, doesn't matter what you doing. Did you put hands on him? And I was like, well, yeah, because he came charging me. So he goes, okay. He says, we can take you to jail. Like that. He goes, what we want. He says, the guy was like, look, I understand. He says, but, you can't touch someone. That's his girlfriend's apartment. I said, I understand. I said, but she was back there. He had already laid hands on her. And then my wife said, I don't know what he's going to do when he comes charging.
Right.
So he came back there. And I was like, dude, hey. You know?
yeah. Like
Yeah.
my wife is back there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But and so it's like, so there's, I can name a lot of times where I have all qualifications with police officers,
And it worked out differently.
and it worked out, yeah.
So
Like
it's,
they was always trying to help me and not hurt me.
like I understand like why people would think that way, on the bad side. If you got a negative mindset, you're gonna move towards the negative. And it's like, because I was thinking about this after you and I got off the phone. It's like you can either choose to dwell on that, or you can look at it from a point of rationale, if that makes sense. Like, it's just not rational to say or think that most of these cops are bad. It's just not. And so if you actually think through that and say, okay, but most of these cops, can't be, not even 50% of them could be that bad, because it would be much worse if they were. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when you look at the percentage of how often this happens, none of it's pretty. But you still got to see the rationale and what's actually happening. You still have to see that. And so it's like, if you're gonna make a whole argument on that rationale or that way of thinking, then where does that leave me? Or where does that leave you? Or what does that leave you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why I say I can't totally agree with it, because I think the mindset is a little warped. But I do agree with it to a certain extent. Just not fully. Does that make sense?
Which way are we talking? Are we talking about police officers as a black man, or are you talking about the black man as a police officer? In other words, when I say that, I'm asking the question, are you saying, we making a statement saying that all police officers are corrupt, or are you flipping and saying all police officers saying all black men are corrupt?
No, from the all police officers are corrupt.
Okay.
But I can believe, I think there are police officers out there that think that all black men are corrupt. I mean, think about
But
it.
not all police officers.
But not all police officers,
Right.
right? There's some out there that I think absolutely profile.
Yeah.
It would kind of be foolish not to think that doesn't exist. I mean, of course it exists on all levels of our society. From corporations to corporate jobs to, well, you think human beings stop being humans when they're police officers?
I profile.
Huh?
I profile.
I have to admit, there are times I do too. It's like when you see a certain behavior, it's like,
I go, yeah, but I don't come negative.
Right.
I'll be like,
okay.
yeah.
On guard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Man, I'll be straight trip. I turn to Toby when I see those. Yes, sir. Whatever you need, sir. Yes, sir. I saw shoe for you. I ain't gonna lie.
But you know, when we even do that to each other.
Yeah, I gotta make it home.
It's like if you got, right.
What you need, sir?
Right.
You want me to dust up your shoes for you? Because I will do that.
It's like one
Ain't no
time.
problem with that.
Right.
Ain't no problem with that.
This guy.
I ain't got problem for yeah. I did it in the Marine Corps.
Right.
The drill sergeant was on my man. Oh man, they was on me. Man, my drill sergeant, man, he used to put his foot down there, boy, and have me doing bends and thrusts and push-ups and stuff. And sweat better not drop on my shoes. He got his foot up under me.
Yeah.
Dude, it's 110 degrees out here. What you mean sweat better not drop on me, man? I suck
I think
that
they
sweat
all
up.
train like that.
I
Man.
suck that sweat up and something like this.
Don't trip.
Yeah, don't you?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, shoot.